Hunyuan just dropped an amazing free Hunyuan 3D studio that has part splitting, AI low poly topology, AI UV unfolding, texture generation, rigging, and animation. All that in one place, and it's actually good. Hey guys, this is Stefan, and today I got access to Hunyuan 3D studio. I've been waiting for this for a while, and guys, this is worth it. I tested it already, and I'm surprised how good it is. 3D studio is now in early access, so I'll attach this link under my video. You're gonna need to go there and sign in into waitlist. It is really worth it, and most important guys, it is absolutely free. So let's take a look. Here's how it looks so far. It has two modes, working with characters and working with props. So the website originally is in Chinese, so I have to enable auto translate. The wording might be a little bit weird. You get free 30 credits per day, and the good thing is they are separate from what you get on main website where you can create 3D models. Let's quickly see what we do have inside. So in props, you basically have 6 steps: conceptual design, geometry generation, which is basically the same as Hunyuan main website. The only thing is that only Hunyuan 2.5 available here. It has component splitting, it has low poly topology, UV unfolding, and texture driving. However, if you go for the character, there are more tabs, rigging, and animations. We're gonna take a look on whole flow. We're gonna create a character from A to Z, doing all the steps. So I actually prepared a prompt that I created with ChatGPT about luminescent creature. You can see the prompt here, and I already created a reference, but just so you know, I also tested the concept design in Hunyuan Studio. It's not bad, it's interesting, but I really want like more creativity, and maybe I'm used to results I'm getting like from Banana and stuff. So you can try this one. It's not bad. I really like the results. The interesting thing is that it doesn't allow to create images in character mode because mine is not a humanoid character, so I had to go to props to create that reference image. Anyway, to give you a snapshot how I create references, I basically did it in Create this time, and I used my prompt, and first I started with Dream because sometimes it gives like a lot of creativity, and I immediately got something like this. I tested it with like Banana from my original prompt. This is not exactly what I was looking for, so I basically took this image and then asked Banana, can you make it like in A pose and stuff? And then I actually get this guy, I reposed this guy, and then I started to get like consistent results in T pose. It was quite a long journey until I found something that I really liked. I believe it was this guy, and I really liked them. Then I used 2 images like of T-pose and the original reference I liked to create a back view. It gave me like a lot of variations. I choose the best one. Then I also played with the color variations and stuff. So here is our final references. I really like this character. This guy is just adorable. And now let's go back to 3D Studio. So unfortunately, inside the studio, it has different amount of credits. They only allow 2.5 generation, and I don't really want it because we simply can go back to main website and generate it here with Hunyuan v3, which is significantly better. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna upload our images here. All right, and then we're gonna choose either 50 or 500k because I don't really need like a high poly. I think 15k should be enough. Max, I will go for this one, and you can basically click generate instantly, and you have to wait a little bit. Sometimes single image result might give better result, but I really like how good it understands the multi-view. So basically it will do the back view exactly as I asked. So let's review the results I get here. Here is the first generation, and it's really good. Like, look how good the texture is. Wow. And the face expression is amazing. Here are a few other generations. This one is also really good. I think like I don't really like the eyes here. Here I tried another back. So this one has like longer tail. This one has simpler tail and a back more looking like a backpack, and this one looked like there's a pearls on top of his back, also looking amazing. So we're gonna continue with this guy. What we're gonna need to do is actually download it as FBX, and we're gonna go back to studio. And again guys, this is absolutely free. We can actually go component splitting. We can upload our FBX model. Here we go. The model is uploaded, and we can press split immediately. So I did it already one time, and I would say I'm impressed compared to Rodin, which is paid. Maybe sometimes it's not that logical, but it's really that good. Here's how it did the split first time. So you can see the separated objects. It left like the body as a big one. But what's interesting, it separated hands nicely, and the straps of the backpack. These appendixes from the left and right side are good. Do not understand why I decided like to split this one. However, what you also can do, you can additionally manually split the models. You can basically select a part that you want to split again. You can press split, and you are allowed to split it in two halves, and it will actually regenerate it and try to split it again in this area that you will mark. Basically, you press split and then you wait for a while, it will split it again.
1 minute later.
Okay, so it's done, and here it is another model, and you can see it's split a little bit different way. So we asked like to split in half, and it actually separated body. I must note that it separated it logically, not just like a cut. So it's really an interesting tool to use. You can basically define parts, and I think it will do the great job. You can download it at this stage or continue splitting. So the next feature is AI low poly. So basically this is a first step of our pipeline, and we're gonna go for all 4 steps here. To do that, we're gonna drop our FBX model here, and while it's uploading, let's review the settings. So unfortunately, it doesn't allow you to set the exact poly count, which I personally miss a lot, but we can set the low, middle, and high amount of faces, and we can choose between trees and quads. Okay, so we just loaded the model, and basically you select the settings and you press generate instant. I already did 2 of them. I did low with trees and middle with quads. Guys, we appreciate a lot your support on previous video, and now I'm working on really cool videos you're definitely gonna like. I really need your support on every video, so I know you like the content and more people can join the community. Here's my results with quads and middle. I would say like I really like it. Look how it works with like small details. His ears, his appendices are not the easiest shape, and I think it actually did a great job. Not perfect though, but I mean it's really good. This is something that you can actually continue working. And this is so my video about like topology. You might know that it might take a lot of time if you want to make it perfect, and this result is actually very decent. And here is the result with the triangles. Again, if you would do that like manually, you will not let that big density here. The total poly count you can see here is only 32k vertices or 11k faces, and it's really good for something that you get in 1 minute. You can even rig and pose it, and so far it's probably the best AI low poly topology I saw. Now the next step is basically continuation. We can choose the model that we like. Let's say I like the one with trees. We're gonna go to UV unfolding step, and it will use the same model, or you can upload your model, which is also amazing, to unwrap it. And guys, this is really good. I'm not gonna lie, I tested it a lot. We can compare it even with Blender. We're gonna run unfolding, and first I'm gonna show you how I do that in Blender and how different the result is. I'm gonna drop my FBX here, and basically if we go to UV editing, since there is already a map, you can see here is how UV map looks in average AI generated model. It's just complete mess, but it do the job because the model look fine, right? However, if we want to talk that further, we need to do a normal UV. So let's say we're gonna remove the material from here, and our only options here is to go to UV and do Smart UV project. This is a free tool right in Blender, and here is the max result it can actually give it. It's not that different from the original UV, maybe a little bit better. There are paid plugins that might do the job better than this, but we're talking about free one. And look at this here. While I was testing it in Blender, we already see the result. Just look at this. It basically separates parts so nice. The body is separated nicely like that. You can see the pieces here. Look how it actually creates cuts. It is of course far to be perfect, but this level is amazing. This one has so much potential you cannot imagine, especially since it's free. So I tested it multiple times, and I'm just shocked how good results are. So here is another result. So you can see it defines parts logically. Yes, it stretches sometimes a little bit more than it should. There must be more cuts in some areas, but again, this progress is really impressive, and maybe not for characters, but for some objects this can save a lot of time. Here is also another example. It
splits it from the half. You can see it added like a cut here. I tested it on another objects, and for hard surface objects it gives even better results. So again, you can either create a low poly model here and continue unwrapping it, or you can drop your model here and unfold it here and just basically download it on any step. Now, since I like this UV, let's try to do texture drawing. Let's go to the texture step and see what we have here. So again, you can drop your model here and put a texture on it if there is no, or retexture it. There are a few options available here. We can basically retexture it again since we made a low poly version, but also in I created like a grain variation, and I want to retexture it with this image. We're gonna press generate instantly, and here after some time, here is the result. And this is just amazing. Look how good the texture is. Here is another one I did with my normal texture, and again, this is a perfect low poly assets. It optimized with nice UV, and this is just amazing. And for textures that you created in 3D Studio, make sure you actually did like low poly and UV unfolding step. And then when you created a texture with this tool, you can go to texture editing, and this is actually very interesting because here you can edit the material. So you can say like make the material more shiny, less shiny. You can basically edit texture with prompts saying like, okay, make his backpack brown. So according to guide, we need to use subject, something that we want to change, and change to what? So creature, green backpack, change to brown. Let's see if it works. So first time I did a bad prompting and it basically changed most of the character to a brown version, but still it's a very interesting result because it only changed the body color. It left some greenish highlights on his ears, and the backpack is also brown. So it's not that perfect in terms of editing, but it's really interesting tool, and you can also try play with materials. But we're moving to the next step, and the next step is rigging. For some reason, it show it extremely metallic in this step. It's not a problem with the model. It is just how it's shown in this step, and it's completely done with AI. You just press generate instantly, and let's see what results I got. To be honest, I was really impressed how good it puts the bones. Here you can take a look on the bones, even though it's not a humanoid creature. Maybe there are too much bones here. When we're done with rigging, we can go to animations, but it will not allow us to create any animations here because it will say it's not a humanoid character. So to do that, I also created another humanoid character in Hunyuan. I exported it as FBX, and I dropped it here to test and rigged. So here how it looks. Basically this one is way better, you can see. And for this character, actually we can go to animation tab, we can choose an animation and press generate, and here is the result. I'm not really impressed with the animation in rig here. I think this is still a weak point, and if you really need that, you'll definitely need to go to Mixamo. Here you can do the same in a semi-manual way, but with much greater result. So let me show you quickly how you can do that. You go back to Hunyuan where you generated the model. We're gonna need OBJ file. So now we're gonna go to Mixamo, press upload character. We're gonna drop the OBJ file from that zip archive, but make sure it's not a crazy amount of polygons, otherwise Mixamo will give you an errors. So 15K must be totally fine. So first you check the orientation, then we're gonna need to go to the next step, and basically we're gonna set the anchor points. So it's very easy. You can see the reference image here. Gonna set wrists, I'm gonna set elbows, same thing knees. You can always turn off symmetry. Gonna drop it here, press next, and basically that's it. It will auto rig the character. We'll able to download it with rig or with animations. Okay, so here we go. Here is our character, and here it looks way better. The rigging, the animation look way better. No shuttering and stuff. We can press next. We can go to animation tab and actually apply some animations here. So for rigging and animation, I still suggest you use Mixamo and stuff, but there is one interesting thing that still Hunyuan is able to create non-humanoid characters rigging, and Mixamo will not really work with the characters like this. And what surprised me, it actually created tail. I was not expected that at all. So let's take a look how good it is in Blender. So we're gonna go open Blender. We're gonna drop the FBX we downloaded. Let's enable preview mode. I'm gonna go press on armature, go to data, viewport display, and press in front so I can see bones. Now I go to object mode, pose mode. Now I can press on the bone and basically rotate them to see how good it is. We can definitely tell that the weights are very far from being perfect, but The thing I like about it that the bones are placed in the right position, and I do have a tutorial on my channel how you can easily adjust weights and fix something like this. But the starting point armature like this is really good. You can go into the weight paint mode and fix some weights and make this armature work so much better. Again, I was really surprised to see bones on the tail, and they are actually positioned quite nicely. So that's it for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe and like. I really need your support. There's a lot of cool tools I'm planning to tell you. See you in the next video.